San Diego State playing UConn. UConn coming in as the big favorite, although you wouldn't think that if you listen to UConn's head coach, Dan Hurley, whining about, oh, the bus rides. He didn't say the bus rides, but San Diego State has to take a cross-country flight. They get back to school at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Less than 48 hours later, they take that flight to Boston, where all UConn has had to do is bus 2 places to Brooklyn, played MSG for their Big East tournament, Boston. They get a home crowd there, home crowd in Brooklyn. Like, give me a break, okay? It's March Madness. You're going to get tough matchups. Stop whining. And UConn, they showed that they're the best team in the country. 82-52. Huge win over San Diego State. So San Diego State's season comes to an end. And why did it come to an end? Well, it was Jaden LeDee and not a whole lot else. LeDee plays 30 minutes, 18 points. Parrish, 10 points. But it just wasn't good enough shooting-wise from the rest of guys. Lamont Butler, 2 for 7. Micah Parrish, 4 of 9. You like to be a little bit better. Not a lot of three-pointers were even shot in this game for San Diego State. 5 of 22 from 3. UConn was 10 of 26. And, I mean, the commentators, they continue to hammer the point about offensive rebounding and just rebounding in general for San Diego State in this game. And I agree. Like, that was a huge issue. And Jaden LeDee, for the first time all season long, he looked a little bit small going up against UConn in this game. Klingon, my goodness, what is he, 7'2"? Spencer, the guard, they've got so much talent on this team. Yeah, 7'2", 280. He's a sophomore. Donovan Klingon. He only scored 8 points, but look how many rebounds he got. 8. Castle, 11 rebounds. Newton, 7 rebounds. Carabin, hopefully I'm not botching that name, probably just did. 7 rebounds. 18 points from Spencer, 17 from Newton, 16 from Castle. I mean, they out-rebounded San Diego State, let's see here, 50 rebounds compared to 29. And then offensive rebounds, 12 for San Diego State, 21 for UConn. Like, UConn just just bullied San Diego State, out-physicaled them. I'm not saying that they wanted it more. I am not going to say that because San Diego State, we know that they wanted it. We know how much they grind, and they are a March team. Like, no doubt about that. I am not going to go that far, but they just didn't play well enough. UConn out-rebounded them. They got extra chances, and when you give a good offense, the best team in the country, extra chances, and you're not playing that well offensively, you get Jaden LeDee, and then you got commentators on the broadcast. Someone get Jaden LeDee help. And I agree. And we've seen that multiple times this year from San Diego State. Get Jaden LeDee help. And there just wasn't enough. And there was just too much firepower on UConn's side. So, look, the Aztecs, they were not supposed to win this game, but I was not expecting them to lose this game by 30 points. It didn't really seem like they, except first half when it was like 7-7, and they did have a lead briefly there, but it just never seemed like San Diego State was going to win this game. Again, they weren't supposed to, so I'm not super bummed out by it. I look at it, great team. This UConn team was better than Alabama last year. There's a difference between the 1 seed San Diego State beat and the 1 seed UConn here that they lost to. I look at it from the last 2 years, this run, what a freaking run. I mean, Jim Russell put out this tweet. I don't like to credit him very much. Sometimes Jim's an idiot. Not literally. It's an inside joke or outside joke. If you know me and his relationship, me and John and Jim's relationship, I'm joking. I love Jim. But he put out this tweet. What Brian Dutcher and these players have accomplished the past 2 years, a Mountain West regular season title, a Mountain West tournament title, a Final Four, a national championship appearance, back-to-back Sweet 16s, the best 2-year run in Aztecs history. And yeah, I agree. I mean, last year was freaking magical. To win the regular season, the tournament, and then to go to the national championship game, you beat the 1 seed Alabama, you beat Creighton, the Lamont shot, how that brought the city together like that, it's unforgettable. It was amazing. And then this year, there were struggles. But guess what? Keshad left. Nathan Mensah, not there. Aguekorope was on the bench. Couldn't play, obviously, out of eligibility. There were struggles on the road. Great at Viejas, but on the road, not good enough. They didn't win the regular season conference. They didn't win the conference tournament. But still, they had a really good resume. They beat Gonzaga on the road. Like, that's impressive. I know it's not Jalen Suggs Gonzaga or like that, but still, Gonzaga is an impressive team. One of the best programs. You think of college basketball programs, Gonzaga is one of the first schools that you name. And they shot the 3 ball amazing. Like, that's what they needed to do tonight, was shoot that 3 ball as good as they did last game, to have that shot, that real shot, and they just didn't do it. They weren't going to do it back-to-back games. 3-point struggles were a talking point this season. But when you zoom out, Brian Dutcher gets the extension, the big run last year, making it as a 5 seed in the tournament this year, having that Gonzaga win on the road, getting into the Sweet 16 again, because you never know what's going to happen come tournament time. So regardless of who they play the first 2 rounds, yeah, we're going to look at it as they should have won those games, but we see upsets all the time in those 5-12 matchups or in other matchups, right? That's what March Madness is. So it's still impressive that they were able to get to the Sweet 16 this year. And if they would have matched up against North Carolina or matched up against Alabama, who knows what would have happened? They ended up running into UConn in the Sweet 16, which was unfortunate, but I'm still proud of what this team has been able to accomplish these last 2 years. And this program, it's in a really good spot. And yeah, Jalen Ledee, how are they going to replace him? How are they going to replace Darion Trammell, Lamont Butler? Yeah, those are question marks, obviously. But Brian Dutcher and that whole coaching staff, David Velasquez, Chris Acker, congrats to him going to Long Beach State to be their head coach, I believe. But this coaching staff, everyone, they know who they recruit. And so those guys, when they get plugged into this system, this program, they're going to work, they're going to play defense, and San Diego State's going to continue to contend for Mountain West titles and get into the tournament, and then you see what happens, right? It's hard to go to the Final Four. It's hard to go to the national championship game. Look at the best programs in the country. They don't go to the Final Four every year. It's hard. So what San Diego State has been able to accomplish last 2 years, Sweet 16 appearances back-to-back, that's freaking impressive. That is. So they're in a good spot. It sucks that they lost, but I was expecting it. UConn's one heck of a program, one heck of a team. I don't like UConn as someone that went to St. John's, and I'm a San Diego State fan my whole life. Seeing San Diego State lose back-to-back years to UConn, it sucks. I'm not a fan of UConn, but I'm still proud of what this program was able to accomplish.